Yo guys, in today's video we are going to compare the rally we have seen in 2019 on Bitcoin with the rally we have seen today, and I can tell you already it's very interesting what we are seeing right here. But we are also going to have a look, a little bit more in-depth look at the stablecoin dominance, and we are seeing some patterns there which are very interesting. So guys, let's jump straight into it. Thank you for tuning in right here on the blockchain today. Love to have you on, guys. I'm going to delete this so we can edit and you can see how I did it. So we scroll back right here to 2019, then we click, I guess it is on this one probably, yeah. Then we do a bars pattern, and then we take from the low, the 4-year cycle low, till we enter that, like that bull market, right? So then we set that 4-year cycle low on the 4-year cycle low we have seen so far right here. And what we can see is that, again guys, based on time, it looks very similar. It's not that the structure or pattern looks very similar, but based on time, it actually looks quite similar. Why is that? Well, we had the 4-year cycle low. Both took off after the 4-year cycle low. And you can see that the top occurred in 2019 right here. That was in May. And for us, the potential top occurred a little bit later right here in June. Because right now we're dropping below all the key moving average. Similar like we did in 2019. So we have a little bit different key moving averages, but here we also really dropped below a significant key moving average, the EMA ribbons and stuff, as similar as we did right here. So what can we expect for the rest of the year? Well, if we just look at 2019, it can become quite a difficult year for a lot of people, as the sideways chop right here, this was a very difficult time to trade Bitcoin. And I can tell you that because I was there. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, guys, so you can see how that would look on the Bitcoin price right now. On time, it is still the same, right? So if we look at this, then we could. This is just a really random trajectory. If we follow similar path as 2019, it just shows you what a potential path could be for Bitcoin and how difficult it actually is to predict and to trade. And that is what I want to give you in this video. It is going to be very difficult to trade the coming months profitable. So I'm going to give you multiple strategies in this video for what I think is going to happen and how you can basically play it safe, how you can take a little bit more risk, stuff like that. But what we can see right here, guys, we had like crazy amounts. So for example, right here, we just went sideways, fake out to the downside, massive pump, completely retraced and went lower again, inverse head and shoulders. Then we had quite a nice rally. Also suddenly had resistance, rejected, massive liquidation event right here, and that was the start of a massive bull market. Are we going to do something similar? Well, if we would follow a regular 4-year cycle, which we can see in this chart, a regular 4-year cycle, 3 years up, 1 year down, 3 years up, 1 year down, then that is definitely possible that we are going to do something similar as 2019. I would say, me personally, I think that the structure of this cycle will be slightly different. I got a lot of evidence for that, which I sooner or later will provide right here on the channel. I'm still working in putting all the puzzle pieces together, and there's another website that most likely is going to publish that article and that research that I've done. So I want to wait till I have it all ready until I can really come out and talk about that. But I think the things will happen faster this cycle. I think the acceleration phase will happen faster and the bear market will last longer. That is the basic conclusion, and I'm already telling that right here on the channel. But what we can see right here is that if we would replicate 2019, it will be very difficult to trade, and there will be not a very strong uptrend until we have the next major liquidation event. This event was actually pretty darn important. And why is that? This event basically caused the bull market to really lift off, and that is because we had a crisis. The liquidity was swept to the downside, so we had a massive liquidation event. Liquidity was swept. A lot of smart money could buy really cheap, and normally such a liquidation event really can strengthen the move to the upside. So the extremer the move to the downside, the more extreme the move to the upside. But also, guys, I definitely want to emphasize this. This was in February, March 2020, when we saw that major collapse in Bitcoin. The money printer went on, and this really ignited that bull market, because from that we didn't look back, right? We just got a V-shaped recovery, a little bit sideways, pump, former resistance into support, take off to 70,000 US dollars. But that had a fundamental thing in the economy, that was the money printer was going on. And nowadays, and this is something that I'm a little bit afraid of in the short-term time frame, the liquidity in the crypto markets is gone. Liquidity is gone. I even talked with some market makers. They are leaving the crypto space because the liquidity is gone. It is all over the news. We can see it over on the exchanges as well. If you're dumping altcoins or whatever, if you dump a huge amount of Bitcoin, you can basically manipulate the price, because there is not much liquidity. So that brings a lot of danger, because if there's no liquidity, then people who are positioned, they cannot really take profits. So without liquidity, the more likely direction would be to the downside. For to provoke weak hands to sell into that low liquidity, smart money to buy, and then eventually get a shakeout. And then once we get a shakeout, we do see the price coming back up again, grabbing some liquidity, but also they can start to manipulate the mainstream media a little bit more with positive news going left and right, a catalyst like we have been talking about. So I really think that catalyst needs to happen for Bitcoin in order to really go in this like parabolic phase of the bull market, to really get that confidence, right? And that catalyst can be a lot of things. So basically, I think waiting for that catalyst is a good idea. And if you want to trade in a short-term time frame, the most important thing that you can actually watch is, of course, derivatives exchange data on whaleportal.com. I think for short-term trading, this is definitely the best indicators that you can use in order to check whether the direction is up or down. And lately, what we are doing often on the channel, we are looking at the stablecoin dominance, because this has given us so much clarity. Because a lot of people, guys, were actually, Bitcoin goes down, a lot of people are bullish with this pump, a lot of people were bullish as well. We were one of the channels that actually turned really, really bearish the moment Bitcoin lost its support. And we did it first on WhaleAlerts and later on the channel, but the moment we lost this support right here, we turned very, very bearish. And that was really thanks to the stablecoin dominance, because the stablecoin dominance was showing us, for example, right here, that we had this horizontal resistance that we broke out to the upside. We had this falling wedge formation right here that we broke out to the upside. So yeah, guys, this chart just really helped us to change our bias into a bearish perspective, while everyone was actually bullish. And that is basically what we need. We need these charts, we need information that can really give us some clarity. And what we are seeing right now on this chart, this is the stablecoin dominance combined, is very interesting, because we are running into some resistance. We have a W formation right here. We are running into some resistance, and we also see that a lot of people right now, if you scroll on Twitter, at least that's my experience. If it's different, just let me know in the comment section. A lot of people are right now bearish on Bitcoin. So that makes me a little bit cautious with being too bearish in the shorter term time frame, because if everyone is bearish, then maybe a lot of people have already sold the dip, and the first period of September we might get a bounce before we actually go lower. We also run into some resistance right here on the stablecoin dominance on the weekly time frame, so that is just quite interesting. However, and that is the other thing, of course, in the grand scheme of things, so in the next weeks and months ahead, if this chart doesn't change, Bitcoin is still looking bearish. And that's what we also seen in 2019, right? Where we just talked about 2019, is that after we finished that rally from the pre-bull market, let's call it like that, the first rally after the 4-year cycle low, it took 1 year to break that level again. 1 year. And we had we had a lot of moves down. We have some pumps, of course, but the majority of these moves, like we can just see it right here, down, up, lower, high. We got a slightly higher high, but then we just drop way lower. Then we go slightly better. So there was not a clear uptrend right here. This is more a short-term downtrend as Bitcoin was making lower lows. So that is very important to note right here as well. If we did end this wave, this maybe this 5-wave structure right here, then we do get like something a little bit. So guys, that's important to note. If we completed this rally, which is in terms of momentum and power to the upside way weaker than this rally, that is definitely true. And that is not a surprise. I've been preaching this also already. That is not a surprise because the momentum on Bitcoin is fading. That for me is actually a fact. Stock to flow model will tell you the same. A lot of signals actually tell you the same. So it is not weird that this momentum wasn't as strong that we have seen in 2019. We needed less liquidity to get a more explosive move as well. And if we did finish this move, we might get for the next coming months ahead just like lower lows. Right? We can see rallies in the price, but eventually it has to form somewhere low where all the weak hands have left the market, where most people are actually getting bearish, because that's how it works. Like I've explained so many times in this channel, where the majority is getting bearish, and then they form the new bottom, from where we can take off. Right, so that is very important to note, and we won't take off until that new bottom is being reached. And where that bottom is going to be, nobody knows. Definitely not. I think time is definitely more important than the actual price. So if in the whole month of September we're just moving sideways, we do something like this, we're moving sideways right here, and then we're seeing already building up momentum. Yeah, this would be like a very stable coin, but you get my point right here. Then maybe towards the end of the year, we're actually going to get very, very bullish right here. Towards October, November. But yeah, maybe we are going to go lower first, and then we are going to go up. So we don't know what the price is going to do. We just know based on time, the likelihood of Bitcoin to go up or go down is at certain times higher. And for example, this chart, guys, if we can break above this former support, which right now is acting as resistance, definitely another dump in the Bitcoin price will come. So if this W formation would break out, for example, in the stablecoin dominance, then we can take the target right here of the W formation. That would be at roughly 13% right here. That could be a moment where you could see like, okay, if we do get at that target some bearish divergences, Bitcoin is at very low levels, then yeah, most likely that is a good time to enter the markets. Right, it's a good time to enter the markets. We have some resistance right here. Also, it would align with the golden ratio retracement right here that we shoot slightly over. Maybe you can also wait until we break this down again, but this would be, I would say this would be a nice level to re-enter Bitcoin. Then because so far this chart is still looking bullish, right? And until this chart is starting to look bearish, I'm not going to be bullish on Bitcoin, because we are just, if you would consider this chart an altcoin, right? Then this is definitely very, very bullish. We just had a falling wedge formation breaking out to the upside. We already broke out in the relative strength index on a weekly time frame with a potential W formation at a very long term, and let me show you guys, at a very long term uptrend. So yeah guys, I really would love to see this chart sooner or later breaking this uptrend, because once it breaks this uptrend, guys, that will be a massive signal for the launch of the Bitcoin bull market. And if we would break this uptrend and leave this market structure, this uptrend, into a declining market structure of the stablecoin dominance, I would definitely say that would be already a confirmation that Bitcoin is going to at least the all-time highs of 60, 70,000 US dollars, but probably also to 100,000 US dollars. But not before this chart first has a breather, because if this would be Bitcoin, guys, look at this. If this would be Bitcoin, That would be an insanely bullish chart, right? But this is a inverse chart on Bitcoin, so that is something we really have to realize. So guys, shorter term time frame, we do see that the live funding rates are getting slightly negative right here. What is the premium index is doing? Let's look at the bar. It's also quite negative. Take buy sell ratio is going up. So yeah, I would have to say that if everyone right now is expecting Bitcoin to just drop lower, we might in the beginning of September get a bounce right here, going slightly up, and maybe late in September when people are turning bullish, we just go and see lower levels, right? I still think, like I said many times, guys, as long as these charts are looking bullish, I'm not going to be too bullish on Bitcoin. I'm going to assume that we are going to see lower levels and that this was not precisely the low. If that will change in the future, like if Bitcoin can reclaim some key levels right here in the chart, like the 200-week moving average, and if we can see some bearishness in the charts right here in the stablecoin dominance, then I will definitely flip my bias to a more bullish bias. But right now I'm just not yet seeing that. But it doesn't mean that in the shorter term time frame, because I also see a lot of people on Twitter, they are really bearish on Bitcoin. So it would also make sense to, at least in the shorter term time frame, get a bounce to trap a lot of people again. So be careful if you are shorting right here at the exact support. But okay guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If so, smash up that like button, guys. Very much appreciated. I wish every single one of you a beautiful day, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.